Hi, I welcome you all in the zero lecture of our course of Langchain Pro Agent Builder series powered by ProSchool. In today's lecture, I'm going to walk you through in the whole course outline which we are going to cover through this whole course. First of all, a brief introduction about myself. My name is Ehtisham Raza. I'm currently working as an AI strategy lead at Agent Technologies. I'm also working as an AI engineer and educator at Data TechCon and also working as a teaching assistant at LLMs. During my 5 years of work experience, I have got a chance to work on different complex problems and I have solved those complex problems using machine learning and deep learning algorithms. In this course, I am going to be your instructor. Together, we will deep dive into agentic algorithms. I will explore how to design and develop intelligent systems. By the end of this course, you will not only understand the fundamentals, but also you will gain the hands-on experience that are required to create agentic applications. In this course, we are going to cover the fundamentals and advanced topics in large language models using Langchain, AI. Also going to explore the key concepts, hands-on techniques, and case studies to build practical application using the agents. So in this course, we are going to cover different frameworks of agents, including LangChain, PData, LangFlow, AI, and many others as per your request. What you see in this slide is a blueprint of an agentic system. At its core, the agent interacts with the users. It understands the goals of the user, what my user is trying to achieve, and it retrieves the right knowledge from the external databases and act according to that. Upon completion of this course, you will have enough understanding of agentic frameworks so you can create such kind of assist systems that can automate your business tasks, your business workflows, and even collaborate with humans as intelligent partners. In the session 1, we are going to cover the LangChain and LLM API fundamentals. The focus of the session 1 will be creating your first LLM chain application with minimal setup. The key concepts we are going to focus in our session 1 will going to understand what is the API management key, and we're going to explore the Grok, which is a large language model from the Twitter chat OpenAI. We're going to explore the chat OpenAI as well. We're going to understand the prompt template. What is a prompt template? How we're going to create our own prompt template if we have to create our own customized application. LLM chain, and we're going to understand the conversation buffer memory, why it is important for any large language model. In the hands-on lab, we're going to create a simple FAQ bot that remembers the context. Whatever the user enter the context, it's going to remember and it's going to answer your questions according to that context. In the session 2, we are going to cover memory and retrieval basics in LangChain. As you know, large language models are prone to overfitting. So we are going to see how we can integrate our large language models, our agents with external memory. So our focus in our session 2 will be adding a long-term context and ground answers with documents. We are going to feed our documents to the large language models that's going to store in a database called vector database, and we're going to retrieve that. So the key concepts which we are going to cover in our session 2 will be summary memory. What is summary memory? We're going to explore it. Vector store retriever memory. Embeddings. What are embeddings? We're going to understand the search algorithms. Facebook AI similarity search. We are going to explore this similarity search in detail. And we're going to understand the RAG workflow fundamentals, how RAG work, how the data retrieval happens in the RAG, and we're going to explore it. And in the hands-on section, we are going to explore, we are going to expand our previous created data, the chatbot. We're going to connect it with the external data source and we're going to retrieve our questions from that source. In session 3, we are going to understand the different architectures of the agents. As we know, we have different type of agents, simple agents, complex agents, goal-based agents, and many others. So we are going to explore all different types of agents, and the focus of this session going to be comparing the different reasoning engines of the agents, and we're going to construct different architectures of the agents. The key concepts you're going to learn in this session will be agent types, the types of the agents, their react, they plan and execute, their self-ask, single versus multi-tool agents, trade-offs in complexity and reliability. We're going to understand how we're going to calculate, how we're going to understand the complexity. In the hands-on, we are going to implement a simple task using both react and plan and execute agent to compare the outputs. In session 4, we will go in detail further about the explanation of the agents. We're going to understand how the agents work, how they think, how they react, and how they further do their planning. So the focus of this session will be foundation of agent reasoning and tool use. How agents use the external tool, just like if agent has to extract the data from any external website, any external knowledge base. how they work. The key concepts you're going to learn in this session will be React, plan and execute function calling. Function calling means how the agent is going to extract, how agent is going to work. If agent has to retrieve any information from external source, how it's going to work. Tool design patterns, we're going to learn about different tool design patterns of the agents. So in the hands-on, we're going to create an agent that is going to retrieve an information from external API, and it's going to create a whole weekend trip plan for you. Session 5, the backbone of this course is in which we are going to learn the Model Context Protocol, MCP fundamentals. We're going to understand how MCP architecture works. The focus of this session will be standardized tool and memory interfaces with MCP. The key concepts you're going to learn: MCP server anatomy, list tools, wrapping MCP tools in Langchain. In the hands-on, we are going to create a simple application in which we'll create an agentic system using the MCP architecture. In session 6, we will further deep dive into the Langchain agents. We're going to focus on understanding the multi-step planning and observability. We are going to utilize the MCP aware. The key concepts we're going to learn is initialize agents, different types. How we're going to initialize different type of agents, tool routing. If we have to route our tool from one route to another one, how we're going to do this, and we're going to understand what is fallback in agents. We're going to utilize the Langsmith tracing. It's gonna help us to understand, let's say user enter a prompt, our large language model start generating an output. But Langsmith will enable us to understand how your language model is generating an output for you. So in the hands-on, we're going to upgrade our previous project of Trip Planner with Langsmith traces. In session 7, we are going to understand the basics of Crew AI. We're going to focus on creating our first Crew AI multi-agent crew. Key concept, we're going to understand the agents, the task, what are the tasks in agents, crews, short-term versus long-term memory, flow state, how the flow goes in the crew agents, event emitters, and in the hands-on, we're going to create a researcher plus writer application using the Crew AI. In session 8, we are going to understand the small agents. The focus of the session 8 will be building and developing small agents that can act autonomously. The key concepts we need to understand is developer paradigm of small agents, prompt development, code generation, and debugging loops. The hands-on of this session 8 will be generating a hello world web application using or Python script using just simply small agent framework. In session 9, we move into QA Advanced. Here, you'll learn how to build production quality through AI workflows that go beyond experiments into real-world application. We'll cover advanced concepts like conversation queues, multi-model capabilities, and human-in-the-loop escalation for critical decision-making. We'll also get hands-on by designing a customer support queue AI with HITL, which is called human-in-the-loop escalation, and explore a SaaS support bot as a practical case study. In the session 10, we will deep dive into the LangGraph Essential. This is where you will learn how to orchestrate your agents using graph-based workflows with branching, merging, streaming, and fault tolerance. We'll also cover the key concepts like nodes, edges, state management, and retries. And you'll also get hands-on experience with DAG. In the session 11, we're going to focus on memory, tools, and data layer that power advanced agentic system. We will also learn how to integrate vector databases like Chroma, Quadrant, and embedders for semantic search, and work with file loaders and structured JSON schema outputs. Through hands-on on practice, we will build a legal document analyst that agents that stores the rulings in quadrant with proper citations, and our case study will explore legal case law system in action. In session 12, we're going to understand the testing mechanism, how we can evaluate the behavior of our agents. If our agents are not working up to the mark, how we can improve the efficiency of our agent. So in this session, we're going to explore all the evaluation metrics of our agents. In session 13 and 14, we are going to explore the deployment and scaling of our agentic application. Our agent is ready. We have done the development of the agent, but now we have to take this agent into the production. So in this session, in these two sessions, we are going to see how we can take our sessions from our local system into the production. Let's say if we have to host our agentic application into a cloud platform, how we can do this, if we have to dockerize it, if we have to scale it. In these two sessions we are going to explore it. By the end of this course, you will have solid understanding of Langchain, Crew AI, MCP, and agent-based AI development. So after having this skill set, you will be able to design an agentic application that can solve and automate your business workflow.